Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drag Race TV LA's weekly recap of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star 6, Episode 5. The queens are getting personal about sex, body-oddy-oddy, and motherhood. If you like to talk Drag Race, you've come to the right place. Hello, hello, hello. It is Mark J. Freeman and Tez. We are the top two All-Stars of the week. Thank you, everybody, for joining us live.
I'm actually lip-sync assassin. You're the top star.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. That's probably, and you'd probably beat me, and then I'd go home and like, I lost $10,000. Thank you guys for joining us live. Be sure to follow us on all social media at DRTVLA. And also, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's that side on the corner. So just click on that and you can subscribe to us. So, Tez, overall thoughts on this episode?
At first, I thought I wasn't going to like it. I definitely was kind of like, this challenge. Like, I knew immediately like what they were going for. But I was just like, I don't really know how this is going to go because I don't know. But when I watched it, I enjoyed the challenge. But after watching it again, I kind of feel a way about the challenge as it relates to the critiques. I don't know if the critiques were as fair for the challenge and for what the platform of Drag Race is. And so, but we'll get into it obviously later. But overall, I did like the challenge. I thought it was a great challenge. I like that Jada Pinkett Smith actually reached out and kind of gave her thoughts about from the Red Table Talk. So I think it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I liked it overall. It's definitely you knew what they wanted. Like, yeah. In my opinion, like to go into this and be like not knowing how to play the game. I'm like, how can you not know? Like, this is clearly get personal, put the character away and just talk, But I liked it. I did like it. Hello to everybody in the chat. Magenta Fox is in there. Chucky Chuck. Singgood 199. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm sorry.
Sing good 199.
Sing good. Oh, sing good. Oh, okay. Got it. Chucky Chuck, Ronnie Jr.'s in there. Japple. Hello, Kitty. Hello, everybody. Hello, Amber. All right. Yay. We got a nice little group here today. Yeah. So we will definitely be getting into the lip sync assassin gag. I guess I want to put that in air quotes. We'll be getting to that later. So stick around to the end so we can talk about that. I'll have a quote of the week, and Jackie's not here. I'll try and see if I can whip up some fans of the week while we're talking. I forgot to do that because she's not here today. Just as a reminder, previously on RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star 6, the queens headlined the All-Star 6 halftime show, and after being snubbed on her season's singing challenge, Jan finally won her first maxi challenge. Akira and Yara landed in the bottom two, and season 2 lip sync assassin Jessica Wilde reigned supreme. And because Yara because Yara did not fight to stay in the competition, the queens chose her to send her home.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Which takes us to the beginning of the episode, which is them coming back from the elimination. And it was, I'm going to quote Kylie Sonique Love, it was anonymous that they all chose Yara.
That's my quote of the week, actually. But it was anonymous.
It was anonymous that they all picked Yara, except for Jan, and obviously except for Yara. But what did you think of that? Jan was really like, kind of gagged that she. What do you think? You've
I had to
got a
scoop.
face.
First off, before I
Oh,
start, I did see Chuck say Cortez is not in bed. No, I am not. My leg is still elevated. I'm at my new workstation, which is where I will be filming. So my leg is up. I'm not in bed. But also, so this is to me like I don't want to be like on the Jan hate train and like because I don't hate Jan at all. I've never really been the hugest fan of her.
Were you looking at me when you said that?
Huh?
Were you looking at me when you said that?
I just looked away. I don't know. I was like, I don't want to see her face. But with Jan in this moment, I feel like she knew. I predicted last week that she actually voted for Akira. So I think that and we talked about how the Queens did a recent live or something about like in this game you have to vote with the masses because if you don't, then you become the target, right? In this moment, Jan didn't do that, and I feel like everybody, even me, my lipstick also had Yara, so I don't understand why you would think that everybody would think Akira because clearly it was time for Yara to go because she wasn't fighting for herself.
Yeah.
And I just think that it was a moment where Jan was trying to kind of stir the pot or do some stuff to kind of get the ratings going. And I honestly think that people say that she blew the lip sync. I think she thought she was going to win the lip sync because she's Jan and she does think she's doing more and better than what she does. But I think she thought she was going to have a very Manila moment, even though Akira is not like a top front runner right now. Still, clearly, it wasn't time for her to go. So I think she thought that she'd be the one to gag the world and send home this person when clearly it was time for y'all to go home. So she saved herself by saying, "Oh, I don't want to." I thought that by track record, no. It was Jan being Jan, and this is honestly the part where the Jantasy just starts to crumble down because it's not working in her favor.
Right.
And she was scared.
Yeah, I agree. Before I comment on it, Ronnie Jr., I think you're still in the chat. If you are, check your email. I just sent you something. So click on that if you want to. You'll understand, I think, when you get the email. Anyway, what I wrote down for this it's like this episode to me proved more than anything Jan's mentality. Because she said so many times this episode, this is what the judges are looking for. I did what I thought you guys were going to do. Da-da-da. It's just proving the point that Jan's not doing anything for Jan. Jan's doing what she thinks the game should be played, and I would say take it as far as her costumes. Like I'm going to wear the costume that I think that they're going to like. It's not even about like, Jan, stop it. Just get the list from the show. Yeah. And it says frills. Okay. What do I, as an entertainer, as somebody who loves doing drag, how do I want to present frills? Not, I'm going to do this frills because I think it's going to get this reaction. And no. Yeah. You do what you want to do. It's a hit or it's a miss. I just can't with her. I can't. I'm sorry. Jackie's not here, thank God, because this is not going to be a good episode for her.
It really wasn't. It was kind of sad because it's like, the backpedaling stuff. Like, I'm very much so, I think we talked about this like a while ago, just like, continue to front pedal. If you pull somebody's lipstick, just own it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you were going to come up with that excuse, you might as well just say, I'm not sharing who my lipstick is, which at that point we would then know BB Zahara. But, it's just I just feel like it was a moment to where it just kind of, it solidified her fate to where I didn't think she was going to be a winner, but I definitely know she's not going to be a winner now. She is close to being out of the game. And I know that, and honestly, she had her redemption. She got her moment last episode. And I think that is really all we're going to get from her. I think she's on a slope. Yeah. And it started with this moment. They highlighted that moment for a reason. That was edited perfectly well. And it was very uncomfortable. I see people saying like Ru is laughing at the queens. Honestly, I was with Ru, like, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I somebody in the chat, I forget. Let me see if I can find it real quick. said, no, I'm not sending nude pics to Ronnie. Ronnie, I saw your response. Thank you. Where is it? Oh, here. Your opinion on this. Should have.
Oh wait, All Stars 8, or is it
Someone
8?
else asked it as a question. Well, yeah, they said All Stars 8. Well, they're filming 7 right now, so it's going to have to be 8. But what do you think she should have waited?
I think so. I think she forced herself on us, and then the producers, it looked like it worked. Like they thought that we were so Team Jan, and we haven't really had a chance to really like her. We're still kind of bad taste mouth from her season, just because of she's doing the same thing. Like what you said about the whole doing what everyone else like. It's like she studied the book of RuPaul's Drag Race. I should do this, and that's what we're seeing. It's the repeat. Like she redeemed herself in that challenge, but she really hasn't come back with anything new. Her drag persona is not elevated. It's, if anything, it's more looks. I do agree. She should have probably waited to at least 7. You know, I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't have missed.
They asked her to come back because
they
asked her to come back because they felt like we because at some point somebody must have said she was robbed in season 12. I don't know who said that, but somebody must have said that. So, you know, when the fans deem you as robbed, they feel like that's a ticket to All Stars. I feel like that.
Yeah.
And somehow somebody said that lie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will, you know, and I'm not even a huge Jan fan, to be honest. I've never minced words about that. I don't know her as a human being, so that's not a comment on her as a human being. She just doesn't, you know, tickle my fancy. I would say definitely there's an argument to be had that maybe she should have won the Madonna Rusical. You know, that, because who was it? It was Gigi Good. Yeah, Jan probably should have won it.
I actually thought she did really well. I don't think she should have won that, me personally.
The Madonna challenge?
Yeah. Honestly, if you've been completely honest, I don't really even think she should have won last week. I really thought that was
Trinity should have won.
So
Trinity should have won.
I mean, they gave it to her, I feel like, for whatever reason, but I feel like it was Trinity's, and I feel like, you know, there were a lot of other good Madonnas in that challenge. She did a good job, but she was not groundbreaking to me.
Well, my thing is just like, I can understand their argument about that. Because I would say, okay, she was definitely in the top. She was definitely really good.
Yeah.
And then it's, you know, matter of opinion whether you think she deserved it or not. So I think because of the meme and all that it built it up. And I do think because this is kind of a redemption All-Stars, it was almost like, oh, okay, we have to give her something, you know? But I still liked the meme of Ru laughing hysterically that said, Ru reacting to giving Jan the win and then telling her she's safe. So anyway. So the next day in the workroom, I'm just curious, Tez, they were discussing the fashion queen of the season. They all kind of said Kylie and TKB. Your thoughts on the fashionista of the season?
I don't think it's Kylie. I don't think it's Kylie. I have my thoughts on Kylie. I think Kylie is beautiful, but I think a lot of her looks look very ready to wear. Just kind of bought from the studio.
Are you talking about her out of drag or in drag?
In drag.
Okay.
I
think they were talking out of drag.
Oh no. In drag.
Okay.
But I don't think I wouldn't put either one of them as the fashionistas. I like Trinity, but Trinity has some misses too. I think this season she's had some misses. Okay. Who would you agree? Like, was there anybody that you would say?
Well, I guess it just depends whether you're talking about them in drag or out of drag. Because I think out of drag, I think they were referring to them out of drag. I don't think they were talking about them in drag. I think they were talking about them walking in the workroom every day.
Okay.
Look at me. I'm a hoodie and a t-shirt almost every day of my life. So I am not, you know what I mean? Like that's not my thing. I think TKB definitely makes an effort to look, whether she dresses like that at home on the street. Okay.
I agree. She does.
I think she definitely could take that. I like Kylie's everyday looks. She really does kind of look very kind of thrown together, but a plan thrown together. I think she's fun. Anyways, I just wanted to ask your opinion when they were talking about it. And another thing that I thought was interesting too, at the very beginning of the episode, they cut to Ginger's confessional and kind of a little foreshadowing of the episode, because she's like, I woke up before the alarm. I'm ready to rock this episode, blah, blah, blah. Like, she kind of came in guns a-blaring at the beginning of the episode. Again, we didn't have a mini challenge, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. Or we're not seeing it because we saw a couple weeks ago, last week or the week before, because of what they showed in Untucked, that there was some sort of mini challenge, but we didn't see it.
Yeah.
But we didn't see it. The Maxi Challenge this week, which what me and Tez were referring to earlier, was that they're having charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent to communicate with millions is priceless, RuPaul says. So they had to produce and host an intimate, provocative, and entertaining talk show called Pink Table Talk. They were in groups of 3. The categories were sex, body, and motherhood. So they got to pick their own teams. She gave them a minute to pick. So the teams for motherhood was Scarlett, Kylie, and Raja. The body team was Ginger, Pandora, and Jan. And the sex team was Eureka, Akira, and TKB. When you saw them pair up and saw the groups who had what, was there a group that you automatically went, I think they've got an advantage, I think they're going to do well?
I don't honestly know. I thought every group had some concerns. Honestly, every group had a very strong person. Well, no, okay. I'll say that Eureka, I thought she would be strong, and I knew that Ginger would be strong. I was very, very concerned about Raja's group because they didn't have anybody that I could see. I didn't see any of them as the moderator initially, and so I was worried about that group specifically. But I was kind of surprised at like what they actually put out and how personal they got with the topics. So yeah. I kind of right away I thought Eureka, Akira, and TKB. I kind of automatically went to them. I was like, I was worried for TKB. I'm always worried for her as it relates to speaking, because that was her issue, and it's clear that she's clearly gotten better this season, which I like. But I'm always worried because you just never know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I just think, I don't know. I think because it was of the topic they had, and they're always in a little huddle in the workroom talking. So I felt like they know each other well. They have this camaraderie. Yeah. And that's what the challenge was. So that's why I thought maybe they were, which they did end up doing. Bye, Ronnie. Ronnie's leaving us. Bye, Ronnie Jr.
Bye, Ronnie.
All right. And so you said that too. All right. So just a couple things in the preparation for doing the Pink Table Talk. There was a moment where Ginger wanted motherhood, because she tells the group that her and her partner are trying to have a child through surrogacy. So she really wanted to talk about motherhood and, all that. Well, then Scarlett also wanted motherhood because she has 2 moms. Ginger, and I was kind of proud of Ginger because she was like, I don't normally fight for things, but I really want to fight for this. So I like when I see that. I like when they're like, no, I'm going to, whether they get it or not, which she ended up not getting it, but at least she fought for it. At least she didn't sit back and you didn't cut to the confessional with her going, well, I just didn't want to start a fight. You know what I mean? Like, well, no, fight. If you really want it, fight, I was curious, and I wonder if this was something they discussed that we didn't see, but why couldn't they have been like, well, why doesn't Jan go over to the other team and Scarlett, you come join Ginger and Pandora and we can all talk motherhood? You know what I mean? Like, that was my first thought, is why don't they just switch up the teams and do it? Or was it like did they say, well, can we do that? And the producer said, no, you got to stick with your teams.
I mean, have they ever been able to switch though? Is there like a thing?
No, it's never happened. So I'm assuming that's why they didn't do it. But I just, in my head, I thought, well, they should both do it then. If they both want to do it, I mean, I guess it makes the drama. Blah, blah, blah. Anything about that you wanted to talk about? I mean, that you needed to say?
I mean, I feel like these things, most of these situations are pretty preset, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always like, how much control do they really have? So I really didn't get too invested in it. I mean, I just wanted them to figure it out,
Yeah.
At that time, honestly, I really was disinterested in the challenge. Beforehand, I really was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it because I gotta talk about it. But I was like, I don't really care, Let's just get on with the challenge. So I really didn't get into the whole like who's gonna do what. I didn't really. Okay. I felt like naturally sex would be the most interesting to me because who doesn't like sex? Yeah. Motherhood was my least because I was like, not that I'm not obviously I'm not a mother, but that was one topic I didn't really care to hear about right for this show. So
I wonder if I mean, obviously we talk about how produced the show is. I'm wondering if the reason they chose it was because they knew Scarlett had two moms and they knew Ginger was trying to be a mother, and mother I'm putting in quotes because I know that.
But it makes so much sense for Ginger to have body just because she is so body positive. It was like, why not? If this is like she's obviously a proud plus size queen, and I get it can be repetitive and whatever, but at the same time, it kind of flowed the way it should have been. I feel like because that's what she promotes herself as being, and so. As we find out, I actually like the story that she shared. I would have never knew that. And it was actually like, in my opinion.
About Ginger's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had we got motherhood, and I get like the story that they're trying to, surrogacy. I found the story that she shared with the body issues more relatable. And I actually enjoyed it more than hearing the surrogacy. That's just me.
Yeah. Agreed. Sorry, I'm kind of looking through the chat here to see what everybody's saying. Did Kylie even talk about her mom?
Kylie didn't talk about shit.
Yeah. Well, or we didn't see it. I mean, obviously there was more that was discussed and stuff like that, and
she talked about her dog or something, right?
Yeah, she has a dog, and so she was referring to that. She said she did make a comment about like growing up and having child issues and stuff. So, I mean, because they were talking about motherhood, I guess I assumed she was referring to her relationship with her.
I assumed she would have brought in something about being trans and her mom. That was, and I know, I get it. Like you hear these things, but at the same time, we've known for seasons that TKB is HIV positive, but she still brought that story there. And it still, it wasn't like I was tired of hearing about it. She made it to where it was like, there's more to it than just this, because we only know the glimpse of it. So I feel like Kylie missed opportunity there. I'm sure there's a story that has been told with her being trans and her mom. I'm sure of it. Like there's
absolutely, and I think if she would have done that, she could have been at the
bottom. Exactly.
Yeah, I think she she would have been either very safe or in the top.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know.
It would have been more organic. Like it's something she could actually pull out and talk about versus forcing about a dog. Like you have a dog, I have a dog. I'm not talking about my damn dog.
Yeah. It's so funny because I even have two, and it never dawned on me that I would talk about my dogs, but whatever. Thank you, Ken, on your comment. I won't read it.
I will say I saw this earlier, and Chucky Chuck just mentioned it too. Someone said that Kylie should have fought hard for BODY. Do you think it was true?
I think that's I think so too. I almost wish they would have announced the categories first.
Yeah.
Then said pick teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. They want there to be issues. They want people to not do well because they want to top and about. I get that. But yeah, I think that would have been interesting. Yeah. I was distracted by Kylie looking like Ivanka Trump. Thank you, Magenta. Magenta, funny. Sorry. Okay. Let's see, what else do I have here? So then before they went on, Scarlett voiced her opinion to Kylie about her energy level.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think she should have said something? Do you think it was to throw Kylie off? I don't think she was that being strategic at all. But
so Scarlett is an interesting part. I have liked Scarlett since her season. I don't think it was to throw her off, but I don't think she was the right person to say it, because it's like, just like when Kylie was back and she was just like, I mean, do you want to do it? And she was just like, because it's like, I don't see either one of y'all as a moderator, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost like you don't complain about something if you can't do it yourself. If you don't, let's say, don't complain about something if you don't have a solution. And she didn't have a solution. So at this point, maybe she was trying to throw her off.
Yeah. It could be. It could be.
Yeah. And honestly, Scarlett could have. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. Raja probably of that team was the best bet, but I think that Raja's story, it worked for her being not the moderator, because I don't know how in depth she would have been able to get into that story had she been the moderator. You know, as a moderator, you only get so much time to talk. So
yeah, agreed. Which is kind of why I like moderating now here, because then I don't blabber on, because I have so many other things I have to focus on that I don't have time to go into my tirades. Yeah. Yes, you did bring this up last week, Chucky. He had asked me, because I know Kylie personally, and he asked if, and she is very quiet. I mean, she proved in the Untucked that she can be loud and, you know, that kind of stuff. And I think all of us have pushed in the right way. But for the most part, like when she's backstage, when we're hanging out, when she's at the club just chilling, you know, she's just so chill. She's just, that's really how she is all the time. Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the actual performances too. We found out that Akira actually had lived part of her life as a trans woman. Kiki, raise your hand if you were shocked. I had no idea. Did you know this? No?
I know Akira personally. So I didn't know that. I didn't know her back then, obviously. I only met her at the season, around season 11 when she was on it. So we were very close, talk, text, all this stuff like that. I didn't know that either, but I'm not surprised. I will say it makes some things make sense now. Yeah. Okay, now I see.
Yeah. Exactly.
Especially coming about how now, you know, because she had obviously had work done. She's the BODY-ODY, but now, you know, she basically admitted to being a top. And how most guys are they're not really into it, because she has a very womanly figure at the lower half. So it all just it made sense.
Came together, right? Exactly. Now, TKB, correct me if I'm wrong, but TKB did talk about it on her season.
Yeah.
That she was HIV positive, correct?
Right.
Yep. So that wasn't a new thing. I do think, though, like Eureka talked about, is, you know, TKB's willingness to be so open and honest about it and having conversations, which I think is important. So, you know, kudos to her. I'm glad that she, again, knew she had this thing that she should be talking about, and she just did it. You know, like, she didn't question it. She didn't think, I'm do a Jan and like, what do the judges want me? You know what I mean? Like, no, this is my story. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to tell it. So, and kudos to her for doing that. I loved, you know, all we were talking about with Kylie. I will say that moment, I actually, when she, at the very beginning, because I thought she opened it really well. And then shortly after the opening, she turned to Raja when Raja got emotional. And she said, you know, that whole thing, she said, someone told me a long time ago, don't let that hurt child make your grown-up decisions. And took her hand. Like, at that moment, I went, oh, maybe Kylie's going to pull this out and really do well.
I thought the same thing. I definitely I thought that was her moments. But I just feel like maybe in that moment, she kind of, I don't know, like she kind of faded, you know. Raja's story was so compelling, like it just was so good, and she you can tell it really was like just raw feelings. And then even though Scarlett was doing what she was doing, it still was something that you like to have, you know, the two mothers and stuff like that. It was still, they both were like so good enough to where it's like, well, what is Kylie going to say? You know, because she is there. But yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought Kylie was gonna bring it in at that moment. I did.
Yeah,
But
I really did. And then it kind of, like you said, it just kind of went. Somebody in the chat made a comment about the fact, this is something like, I know that sometimes when I do these, when I'm in drag, I'm not dressing to do a talk show.
Yeah.
I'm dressing because I know you guys are watching, and I want to, I know you guys, even when we all join in before we go live, or, we're always talking about my looks, and I'm having some kind of, it's just something that I find that I want to play with. If I was doing a challenge for a talk show, absolutely, I would dress the part. Somebody in the chat said that they thought TKB was one of the only people that really dressed to be on the talk show. I would say Raja.
She looked. I don't think she's the only, but she did. I did like her look.
Yes, and I thought it was very talk show.
It was borderline first lady, borderline. But it was just enough of like maybe it was like second or third lady, not first lady. It was okay.
Yeah. I thought Raja's was good. I thought Pandora's was good for a talk show. I thought Ginger's could have been a little more, but Ginger, I just don't think Ginger wears that kind of stuff. Like, I think for Ginger, that was very, ordinary.
Okay, what about, so I love the curious look, but do you think that it was for, because first thing I was just like, what she got on? It looks great, but as a talk show, on a show like that, it's very eye grabbing, and you want to kind of keep it, I don't know. I thought it was a lie, actually.
Yeah. Chucky Chuck, I threw this up here because that was what the note was in my notes for the show just now. Was I literally wrote almost exactly what you wrote. What was Jan? That's again. This is like, I don't know,
what was she wearing? I can't remember.
She was wearing a purple leotard. Like, literally.
I guess that's what twinks wear. Twinks.
I just, other people are saying that what did Magenta? Oh, this is, but same as Jan though. Yeah, Jan looked like a showgirl, right? I think Eureka was looked like a Valkyrie.
Oh. Seeing Good says that she looked like the choir director. She did. Yeah. It was very, I know the woman that TKB was. I know that woman.
Yeah.
She usually tells me to sit over here, or if after there's gonna be some dinner after the service.
Yeah,
but she also goes out afterwards too.
And again, the other thing that I have written down for Jan's segment is it literally on the talk show, as they're having this roundtable conversation, what does Jan say? That's the vulnerability the judges are looking for. Literally says it out loud during the challenge. And I'm just like, girl, what are you thinking? What are you, like, I just don't, like, kudos to her. She made it on the show. She's going to make a ton of money. Good luck, whatever. Sorry, musical theater didn't work, but whatever. Sorry, not sorry. Then Ginger talked, which actually, I thought Ginger kind of had a good, no matter, kind of a win-win situation, because when she got Body instead of Motherhood, she obviously could talk about her size and her weight, which I thought her conversation was wonderful. And she talked about the bowel obstruction that she had as a child, and they had to go in and do surgery. And then that's when she started really gaining all the weight. I had no idea. It was a wonderful moment.
I was just like, I was on these meds for the last week, and I was cusping. I'm like, am I going to get big? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I know, right? We can discuss more later about whether she should have won or the other team or someone on the other team should have won, blah, blah. But I just thought it was really kind of what put her over the edge and really kind of helped her win the challenge. And then Pandora talked about ageism and the expectations of beauty in drag. Yeah. And the other thing I was going to say too about Pandora is on the runway when she's getting critiqued,
Mm-hmm.
Michelle says, and and again, Pandora is somebody that I know very well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we're at Mickey's together, we belly up to the bar together, we have cocktails together, we reminisce about past seasons and shit together, and she's a hoot and a holler, and I love hanging out with her. And Michelle says that, I know you well. You're holding back. Are you still getting I feel like she's holding back. Do you feel like Pandora is still holding back?
I feel like she's just kind of like, it's given, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not doing a lot. I'm not doing less. I'm happy to be here. Like, I'm doing what I should do to at least make it down the line. I don't know how far she's going to make it. She's been okay. She hasn't done anything to stand out to me. I honestly forget that she's there many times until she's there. I'm not just being quite honest. And I'm not sure if they're editing her that way, but that's just what it comes off. That's how it comes off. I like Pandora.
Yeah, no, I love Pandora. I wish she was. I feel like she's kind of like caught up in the I'm afraid to say things because I don't want people to take it the wrong way and blah, blah, blah. Because every once in a while she does say something that we see in the confessional that I'm like, yes, okay, yes, thank you. Yes, you're giving me Pandora. This is the Pandora I know. And then all of a sudden it reverts back to something else. So I just feel like it's kind of not consistent. Literal truth, yet again, you get my quote of our show. For RuPaul, there is no greater display of vulnerability than talking about your bowels.
Yeah, that's why I just showed mine.
Yeah, right? I have an opinion. I mean, I've watched I haven't watched Red Table Talk. I haven't watched a Red Table Talk, but I've watched the one with Gloria Stefan and her cousin and her daughter. And so I kind of get what the show, I know what the show is about. Mm. Is there something on Red Table Talk where they bring out an item? Because the pink furry box to me seemed out of left field.
To be honest with you, I've only watched one full Red Table Talk, and it was the one with Kylie Jenner's like ex-best friend that like slept with her boyfriend or her sister's boyfriend. What's her name? Jordan, I believe. And I don't remember seeing a box. So I don't know.
Did it seem weird to you? Like, it just felt weird to me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there had, I guess, I don't know how weird it should have felt, but I know that, I mean, I guess I see where he was trying to go with it. If they do have it on Red Table Talk, then I guess it worked. But I didn't really think too much of it, honestly. It was kind of like,
okay. I don't know if you guys are in the chat and you watch Red Table Talk and it's a segment, like a thing that they do on the show, then I guess it's very Untucked early days. Yeah, and I get that it was the pink furry box from the early days of Untucked. I understood that.
Okay.
I didn't not understand it. I just thought it seemed odd. Like, because I was like,
it just probably adding a little element to it. It probably didn't have any. I don't recall, because they literally just talk on the Red Table Talk. There's really, so what I feel like is it. Honestly, when they brought out that pink furry box, it kind of gave an element like a game show. It kind of took away from the moment, because on Red Table Talk, they just talk. Like, the conversations are usually so serious that who's going to bring out a box and say, well, I have the box now. Like,
yeah.
Those conversations are very deep.
Well, that's what Jacque was saying, is the pink box was added some comedy to an otherwise tense situation,
but that's interesting because they're critiquing them on this being serious and whatnot, but then they bring out this element of comedy, and that's why, like I said earlier, like the way that they're critiquing it's kind of all over the place, because in that case the box should have never taken away from the moment. They could have used the extra 30 seconds or whatever to talk more. Maybe Sonique would have spoke up more. I don't know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I do want to say something real quick too about I see that Sing Good mentioned, and I did want to kind of go into this too. With Raja. So one thing I really liked about this, like, first of all, I'm loving Raja more and more.
Yeah,
me this too. Season, like, completely, like a whole 100, 180, whatever, 360. 180. I love her. And I think what's so key about this episode is that she did not bash her mother. You know, that relationship, I don't have that relationship. I'm not going to say I'm blessed that I don't have it, but because my mom has always been supportive. I don't have a church mother, but in the Black community, I will say it's very, very heard of that is a common thing. And I like that he was able to really showcase how much he did love his mom. He's able to acknowledge the mistakes that he feels like she made as a parent growing up, but he has no hate towards her. And I didn't really know that, because I know that on her season, when do you remember the big blow up between him and Plastique? I keep saying him, her. I'm going all over the place with my pronouns.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know that relationship existed. So I really liked that they highlighted that. And you can tell it was raw, it was real, because the fact that he just kept breaking down. I think the pink table talk really helped him, with this moment. Yeah. And I really hope that his mom was seeing it. I hope we get like some kind of like revisit to this, because it'll be a good redemption. Even if she doesn't win, like, she has been great, and this would be a great full circle for her and her mom.
I agree 1,000%. I mean, you could speak on the, they talked a little bit about in the workroom about Black families and, keep, what happens in the house, stays in the house. Yeah. I mean, you can speak on that. I don't know if that's something, but can't imagine they'd be lying about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, I think, I've said this earlier, I'm going to keep saying it because I'm really pleased if this was a conscious decision by the producers to try to make the show back more about these humans that do drag rather than arguing drag queens. Because if that's what they're doing, thank you. And I think it was Chuck or Japple. Sorry, I put the question up on the thing. They asked if this was maybe too serious a topic for the show. I don't think so, because I do think what makes us kind of connect with queens and personalities is their personal stories. Yeah. So I liked it. They obviously can get as serious and in depth as they want to, but I didn't think it was too serious.
It's crazy because I don't think things I hate when people say I'm not coming at anybody when they say this is uncomfortable, because I find some of these arguments in the workroom to be uncomfortable. And it's like I love drama, but like the situations where you have like, Tamisha and Candy like about to physically get crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like some of those moments are kind of cringy to me. So I like, if you're going to give me that, then give me a balance. Obviously it's going to be shade, it's going to be drama. I get this is not a Lifetime series, but at the same time, this is honestly how RuPaul is getting these Emmys, because of these type of moments, these little scenes just like this. It's not really because just the fights and the fashion. Right. It's really because he brings this element in at least once or twice a season, and we feel it,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's get into the runway. The category is Clash of the Patterns. We did have a guest.
Patterns.
I didn't even think to do it. I'm still house apartment sitting, so I'm limited wardrobe. But sorry, I didn't even think to do that.
I just had this hat and I said, "Oh, that's a pattern. And some of the runways were like not that cute anyway. So I said, I don't have to be cute either, because I'm just a lipstick assassin, so I don't have to be all that. So.
Right. We did have a guest judge. It was Aisha Tyler. And then it was Michelle and Ross. I have Carson written down, but it was Ross on the panel. All right. I'll pop them all up here quickly. Since there's only two of us, we don't have to, talk forever. But first up on the runway was TKB. What are your thoughts on Trinity K. Bonet's runway?
I liked it. She was the first person out. So when I heard Clash of the Titans, I definitely was thinking like more patterns that clash. But I will say the pattern was nice. It's not something that could just be worn any day. So I thought it was a safe, like, it wasn't ugly. It was actually nice. I like that the SpongeBob actually turned out to be like, I get it. I liked it, how it turned out. So I loved it. I did. It wasn't being first. I was like, okay, I was expecting something to be like all over the place, but it was cute. It was TKB. Like, she is still a pageant type girl, so naturally she's going to be well put together in her looks. I think this was very pageantry-ish with the twist and edge. I liked it.
Yeah. I liked it. I'm not saying I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the challenge.
Yeah.
And that I'm such a stickler, like, and I get it, you know, things come up. Maybe we'll see a post later saying they wouldn't let me wear my Clash of the Patterns outfit that I brought, so I had to wear this. So if that's the case, then fine, I liked it, and then I give you the pass. But, oh, we have somebody, Aquarius Stan 19 is watching us on Twitch. Thank you. Yay. I like when somebody's watching on Twitch. Makes all my hard work of creating a Twitch account worthwhile. Thank you, Kristen. I liked it, just didn't think it was the challenge.
Yeah.
Next up is Aquaria. Your thoughts on Aquaria? Or sorry, Eureka. Eureka. I'm saying Aquaria Stan from
I know, I'm like, wait, Aquaria.
I was still stuck in Twitch world.
I really liked Eureka's look. I mean, it was like a lot of patterns, but together cohesively, it looked good. The hair was questionable to me. But overall, I did like the look. It was a gown, but it was elegant. Like it was, I liked it.
I thought, I agree with you on the hair. I agree. And I think, like, I like that. I think the thing for me with Aquaria, because I love Aquaria. She's another one of my girls when I'm out at Mickey's. If she's out. Eureka. What am I saying, Aquaria? Oh my gosh. Eureka. Sorry. Love Eureka. Stan Eureka. Eureka completes me. I rarely will say anything bad about her. But I do think she, in the past seasons, she would just go so overboard with rhinestones and makeup and hair, and it was a little too much. Yeah. I've noticed, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I feel like she's really toned it back a little bit. So I appreciate that, because I'm hoping that was a conscious decision.
This comment here is taking me under, because this is my other co-host on my show, and my friend always says this about Eureka's loaf wig.
Yeah.
That is, I have the same feeling. Like whenever I don't see a loaf, I'm like, oh, such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen it this season yet, I don't think. So
no, I don't think so. I don't think we have. So, I agree, Magenta, and I felt like she did the challenge. Like when she came, because when Trinity came around the corner, I was like, really? Like there's no clashing patterns. And then Eureka came around the corner, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I was like, okay, good. Someone's gonna give me something. Like I was excited.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
And then the next person up is Akira, and then I kind of went back to, okay, that's not.
Okay, so let me just say this. I at first was like, but then I had to, when I dug deeper into my little small brain, even though I have 3 degrees, I'm still slow sometimes. She was an actual pattern, like a sewing pattern, you know. And I was like, oh, so she went a little bit more into it. I didn't dislike it. I did like it. I do feel like Akira has definitely switched up her style in Runway from which she came on the season, but I don't know if I would give it a 2. I would probably kind of give it a nice little pass for trying to think outside the box, but she probably should have went back into the box and gave us something else.
It was just for me, I was just like, okay, first of all, we've seen it. Yeah. We've seen different variations of
Someone
this
just said
before.
that. Maybe I forgot my her story. Who did that before?
I was trying about. Well, I know that. I know there was on UK season 2.
That's what someone said on UK.
She did something, but there was somebody on our seasons though too that had done it in the past. Like it wasn't a moment where they came around the corner and I was like, oh, creative. I don't want to go. They come around the corner and go, oh, it's that. Like they did that thing that everybody does. Like I don't want to see that. That's why I don't understand Jan, and there's one on Spain who I like Espana's season, but there's one called Sagittaria, and literally she's trying to be Aquaria, and I'm like, why? Why do you want to do what everybody else is doing? Be your own person. Show me your creativity. Show me your style. I'm going to appreciate that more than you trying to replicate. That's why I think I don't like impersonators as much, because to me, it's like you're just trying to recreate what this other person is doing. I want you to be unique and original. So Yeah, Lawrence Chaney. Thank you. I don't know why I keep forgetting Lawrence Chaney's name. But there was somebody. Oh, Valentina.
Somebody said Valentina did it and they hated it. I don't remember much of Valentina other than her nude Madonna look.
I know. I
That's a different discussion for a different time.
Right. Next up was my favorite of the runway is Raja O'Hara.
Okay, that's your favorite?
That was my favorite. I just liked her. I like the silhouette. I like her in pants. And I just really liked, again, it was a clashing patterns, but they worked really seamlessly together. Yeah. I felt it was like it was her. Like, I was like, okay, that's totally Raja. It's her style. It's, homage to her heritage. I loved it. I thought it was like perfect. Like, you did everything. You did the assignment, you listened, and you gave me a little bit of you.
I liked it. I thought it was beautiful. I thought the patterns went well. I thought she sold it, and I thought it was safe. I can't say that I loved it. And my thing is, like, I kind of, I could be a little controversial when I say this, but I feel like for a Black queen, this type of pattern is a very safe way to go.
Gotcha. I can understand that.
I wish I would have got. I mean, it was. I guess we can't get extraordinary runways from her all the time, but I did like it. I just felt like, okay, I was like, okay, she's out there now. Go on to the back. Who's the next person? I wasn't really. Nothing made me want to see it anymore.
Yeah.
And we've, like I said, we've seen it before on Drag Race. We've seen Monet do it. We've seen Bob, the drag queen, do it before. And I think Bob was like one of the first that I was like, ooh, but at this point, like, I love that it was different patterns, but it was okay. It was safe. She knew that if she did that, there was no way that they were going to be like, we don't like this, because they can't, because they really couldn't, So, yeah.
I kind of had a similar reaction to TKB because we had seen Shea Coulee do the thing with the long neck piece. Yeah. And we've seen that type of makeup and stuff. So again, for her, that was kind of the same thing as I was like, and I get it. Like, I say that, and then like I feel like I'm going to go out and I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something similar to what somebody else has done, and people are going to go, Lorayne, but you said you would never. I'm like, I get it. Just like I want everybody to like dot their I's and cross their T's. I want everybody to kind of try and make it a little different.
Yeah.
All right. Next is Kylie Sonique Love.
Hey, I hated it.
Really?
I thought it looked very cheap. This is why I said about fashion. I thought it looked very like Fashion Nova, like the hat. No, I just wasn't feeling it. I get it. She did have different patterns, but
no, she didn't. I looked close on it. It's not. It's
not?
all leopard. It's all leopard. It's just some different colors it's like different colors in there. So there's not a different pattern though.
Yeah, my thing with Sonique, I just feel like Sonique this is Drag Race, and I feel like she needs to elevate her runways. Yeah. Everything she wears, I could just see her wearing it out on a regular day throughout the week, at Sunday brunch, something like that. And I understand, like, I feel like this season is less of a redemption. It's also her being completely out as trans in terms of to the world, reborn, reannounced. And I feel like a lot of that goes into her fashion on the runway. It's like she just looks very, she goes for a very natural cisgender look. And I really want her to elevate it to drag, because what's going to happen is you get more transgenders that comes on the show, and they want to, I feel like they want to be on the show, but you still have to, drag is a form of art. And I feel like she doesn't have the art, at least not what I've seen on the runway. It's just very pedestrian to me. And this same look.
Who is this? C. O'Connor. That's exactly what I was going to say. I feel like if this was a big girl who came out in something like this, they would have been read to filth. They would have been told it looks, store-bought. It looks, blah, blah, blah. Again, I feel like people in the comment like, oh, I loved her legs. And I'm like, I get that. But this is what I'm talking about all the time, is that there's always a pass for somebody who has a nice body. There's always a pass when they're a pretty person. There's always a pass for these things. And that's why I always talk about it, because I do think it's something that is kind of I mean, and I live in LA, so I guess this is just me being bitter.
I'm looking at a kid comment. Ken said, if I seen her wearing this to brunch, I would think something's wrong with her. Ken, you should come. You should come to LA because they wear this going to the mailbox.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you come to LA, you would see it walking to the mailbox or walking.
Yeah. So next up is, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this next one. It is Miss Scarlet Envy.
It was okay. Like, I get that if someone asks you, if the judges ask you, what is this about? That's already a bad sign.
Right.
It was beautiful. It was nice, but it wasn't really a pattern. I mean, she put printed. Oh, it wasn't really a pattern. I like that, but for the challenge, I don't think she met the challenge requirements.
Yeah.
And it wasn't clashing. It was pretty. It was really pretty, actually. No.
Yeah. No. I just, it like when you took if you took the story out of it, no, girl. No, that is not an attractive look. I didn't like the shoes. I didn't like the hair. I did not like, the dress was so frumpy.
Yeah.
Like frumpy. And again, if it was a big girl, I feel like they would have, girl, what the heck is that?
Always looks so good. I will say her runways are still well, but something about them still always gives me safe. Some of them. They're all very gowny, they're all very, she has a look that she goes for. Yeah. I will say that. We didn't really see much of it before because she left a little sooner, or maybe around the same time as this one, I believe. I can't remember how long she stayed, but it wasn't long. But even now we're seeing more of her, and I feel like she has a certain look and aesthetic that she goes for within her looks.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, someone said The Notebook. It definitely I thought of The Notebook too.
Yeah.
The challenge was not Clash of the Notebook. It was Clash of the Patterns. Because I was like, sorry, Scarlett, no.
Exactly. I'm just going to say this again. Thank God Jackie's not here, because the shit I have to say about Jan this episode is just not good.
I forgot.
Not that I ever really have super nice things to say, but I'm going to say, and this may be controversial, but I might put her runway look down as one of the all-time worst ever on a runway of RuPaul's Drag Race. There is just nothing at all redeeming about this. Like, the socks with the open-toed shoes, don't even get me started on that. Like, it's just like, I was going, what is this? Chaps? Or, like, it was just horrendous.
This was her episode to go home. I'm sorry.
Completely.
It was a lot of fails on Jan's part, and I know she just came from a win, but they should have just said, all right, you got your win, go home. Because my thing is, if it was the shopping bags for me. I was just like, so if you drop these bags off, then you have on basically a leotard with some socks, and this was probably one of Jan's worst. If she comes back for another All-Star, she needs to redeem this look.
Well, I don't know. No, she shouldn't come back. No, she should not come back. She shouldn't be there now. She shouldn't come back.
If she finds a way to come back to, the season of all the girls with this most safe, I'm sure they're going to probably produce in 2025. Then she should probably redeem this look.
I put this up there because I love that you said this, C. O'Connor. He said, I love Jan on her season, but something is happening that is making me dislike her. I feel like she's kind of having a anti-redemption. I think she should have just done hers and been done.
Yeah. No. And the fact that it's the bags. Like, she tried to use the bags to make patterns. Like, those are the bags. I see those bags all the time at Target. I always look. I didn't even like the color. I didn't. Right. I don't mind. Was it not violet? What's the name of the color? Is it lavender? I don't even. I like lavender, but I didn't like any of it. It just did not sit well with me at all.
It was horrendous.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. Yeah. Quote me on it. If you're friends with her and you're watching this and you want to edit this and send it to her to ruin her day, I don't give two shits. She needs to know it was horrendous.
Yeah, I think she knows. I'm sure she definitely pays attention. She waits for the comments, I'm sure, after these shows.
Oh, I'm sure she does because she
Okay.
eats, sleeps, drinks what she
Yeah.
thinks everybody wants to see. So whatever.
Yeah.
Next up is the Minge, Ginger Minge.
This is one of my favorite looks of Ginger Minge's ever. Actually.
Ever. I would agree. I 1000% agree.
I've been coming down on her, not necessarily for fashion, but I never looked to her for a runway like, ooh, ever. Like she always does what she does, but this really worked well for her. The concept, the color, the boots. I didn't even know until about 2 hours ago that the boots matched the hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Chucky Chuck says, I'm sick of her damn boots. Okay, yeah. She does wear boots a lot, but this time the boots worked. Like it was a whole. I did like. I thought it was one of her best.
I wear boots a lot too, so I'm gonna let it pass because I love boots. They're very comfortable. Okay. When you have to be in drag all day, I will. If I have to do something long, I really try to plan.
Boots are they give you a lot of support.
Way more support. If I have to do a high energy number, anything like that, I'm like, nope, gonna grab a boot. Gotta grab a boot.
Yeah, I liked it. The color is like I really wanted to just eat a piece of her. Like she looked very like I liked it. The color, everything, the concept, no complaints. Perfect.
Yeah, agree. Me too. 1000%. And I do think that also helped put her over the top for the win as well. Not that I didn't like Eureka's, but because I did, but that was
it was
between the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least is Miss Pandora Boxx. Curious your thoughts on this.
I did not like it. I know the inspiration behind it. I think from that she should have taken that and made it more than what it was. It's like it really. I feel like that is a costume, honestly. Mm-hmm. From where it comes from, A Nightmare Before Christmas, I believe, but. It was very lazy to me. She threw a red wig on, she threw the dress on, and she came out. I don't think she tried to do anything extra. It had patterns, but it just wasn't elevated. It wasn't all stars. It wasn't really like top drag, I feel like. And, maybe I'm not age shaming. Maybe it's because, that this is another example why I feel like she's holding back or she's just like doing what she feels like she needs to do. It's almost like somebody said, girl, go on this show. Come on, we got you. Just go on the show and just go.
Well, she's had some moments like when her look, the promo look and her walking into the workroom look were just like her walking into the workroom look was probably the best I think I've ever seen her look. So I think there have been moments where she has kind of elevated what she used to do.
When
she walked out. My first thought was, this is Pandora season 2. That was my thought when she came around the runway. I'm like, this isn't. I mean, even the length, which I'm such a, it's got to come to the ground. And when I can see the shoes, I'm like, no, girl, no.
She could have gave it more shape. She could have found a way to make that a whole different
make it a bigger something in the shoulder, something
in the waist. I don't know. She could have made it so much more camp. She's a campy queen. Why not make it, more of a campy style dress? It just was kind of lazy to me. I didn't.
So on the runway, one of the things that was kind of talked about throughout the episode after the runway was that Ru says that Scarlett made her uncomfortable, which is not a nice thing. I do think Jan had a point when she talked to Ginger in her one-on-one, and she said, look, I'm not going to lie. I probably did get worse critiques overall. But when Ru says, you made me uncomfortable, that's not good. That's not good.
Probably why she sent her home. I mean, that's the only reason why. I mean.
That being said, do you think, because when Scarlett comes back into the workroom after the critiques, she kind of, in my moment, she was having a little Jantasy moment where she was thinking, because she says, I got really good critiques. I don't know why I'm in the bottom. I felt like there was a little bit of a delusion there in her head.
Scarlett is definitely, she has a bit of delusion. That was in her season. I do love Scarlett. I've always loved Scarlett. But she does have that Valentina-esque ish mentality.
Yeah.
I just happen to like her a lot more than Valentina personally.
Yeah.
Because I do, she does seem more of a human than Valentina.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's so funny, and I this is gonna sound so like I don't want to be mean. Like I don't want to sound like I'm picking on Jan. But you've opted to put yourself on national television and stuff. So, but she did have a moment later in the episode where she really like breaks down and she's like sobbing. She doesn't understand. She said, "I'm a cheerleader for all, and I don't understand why people don't think that makes me authentic," and blah 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 blah. I wanted to at that moment go, "Oh, this is the Jan. This is what we wanted." But there was even something about that made me go, are you really upset? Or are you upset because your game plan, quote unquote, isn't playing out the way that you thought it was going to in your head? How did you feel about that moment with her?
It must be really hard for someone to feel like they feel like they're being themselves or trying to convince themselves they're being themselves, and everyone is saying like, stop being someone else. That must be really difficult. I can't relate to that.
Agreed.
I'm always myself. But something about, and I know they edit, something about RuPaul was my same sentiments. Like I felt the same. I was just kind of like I get what you're saying, but we've been telling you this for a while, so I didn't feel a way. It didn't really touch me at all. You know, all of my tears went to Raja. So by the time I got to Jan and her sobbing, I was like, sorry, Jan. Like it's maybe this is not necessarily for you, like the show, you know what I'm saying? In terms of like what they want, maybe you should aspire to do Broadway or something like that. But it didn't hit me, as Hello Kitty said, I roll. I just kind of rolled my eyes too.
I said I wanted to be like, oh, there she is. There's her authentic self, but I didn't.
No.
I think this is a good point, literal truth, that, you know, if you're going into a room of people who weren't on the runway, you would tell them something different because you don't want them to know. However, there were other people on the runway that can call you out on it. So I think that's the only problem that I have. And then the other thing I was going to say is, you know, again, Kylie fought. You saw her have that moment in the workroom with all the girls like, I want to be here. I have been wanting this. I have been hoping for this. Like, you just really saw her passion. Again, and I don't know why you see it when she says it, but when Jan says it, I don't feel like she really does, you know?
It's unfortunate. It was too soon for Jan to come back to TV to us. It was too soon.
I think so too.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon. She did not have time to really take in anything that she needed to do to come back. And it's just unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes just like a lot of these queens, they wait years. Some of these queens have been asked to come back for years. They waited. They didn't come back. You know what I'm saying? They're waiting until they feel like they feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Just they find more within themselves. They come back, and it's like she just came back so excited and hungry for whatever. So just too soon.
Yeah. So the tops this week. So Team Sex, Eureka, TKB, and Akira, they were the top group of the week. But you can even tell in Rue's voice, you knew when she said it. I knew instantly by the way that her inflection of team, I knew there was going to be some sort of twist. And so they were safe. And then she said, however, the top all-star of the week is Ginger Minj. So Ginger and Team Sex got to leave the runway. Raja and Pandora got critiqued on the runway, but ended up being safe. The bottom three were Kylie, Jan, and Scarlett, which is who the queens had to choose from for elimination. Mm-hmm. I do think it was a combination of things that gave Ginger the overall win. I understood Eureka's frustration because Eureka has been pretty consistently in the top since the beginning, and she hasn't won anything. So I understand that frustration, but I think it was a combination of her runway and her her story that kind of put her over the top.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that twist, actually. I just thought that, I mean, Ginger did well, but I don't think she did any better than Eureka, honestly, in that. I mean, I guess the runway, but I mean, Eureka, Akira had one of the best runways we're going to see this season last week, and she still was in the bottom. So I feel like they need to pick out how they're going to weigh that out, because honestly, challenge-wise, I didn't think that it would. I thought Ginger would be good. I didn't think she would win.
Yeah. I did not know this literal truth. Did you know that Pearl is Scarlett's drag mother?
Who?
Pearl is Scarlett's drag mother.
I didn't know that, but you know what? It makes sense.
I know. Yeah. I don't think Ginger should have won. It should have been Eureka. I think she did better in the table talk. That's Amber, I think. Yeah, Amber.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't. Yeah. I agree that they.
I mean, I wasn't upset with the Ginger win.
No, I wasn't upset. I was okay with it. I was only upset that Ginger had to lip sync to one of my favorite songs, and it could have been somebody else, because I was like, why did they give Ginger this song? But anyway, whatever. The episode was set up for Ginger to win this episode.
Okay. Yeah.
It seems like it was set up for her to win something this time. So
right. We had a little gag moment that I mentioned earlier. The lip sync assassin was presented, and it turned out to be Bianca Del Rio. And then she says, "No, I'm not doing it. I never had to do it on my season. I'm not going to start now, blah, blah, blah." And she walks off the stage. And then we go back to the beginning, and it's revealed again, and it's Mayhem Miller. Overall thoughts, Tez, on the gag moment?
Akira's commentary was spot on. Lip sync assassin, Bianca Del Rio, what?
Yeah.
So I was thinking the same thing. But I also was not excited to see Mayhem either. I thought we just saw her, and I don't really consider her a lip sync assassin.
I love Mayhem.
I love her too. I do, but I don't consider her a lip sync assassin. So I thought this was probably like the most misplaced assassin this season thus far. Maybe one of the let's go wild too. But yeah, I just felt like, oh, okay, this is not a lip sync assassin, but okay, sure.
I would say, other than Mayhem, I feel like the lip sync assassins have been. Because I think Jessica is a really good lip syncer. I've seen her perform many times. I think she is. Mayhem is entertaining. I like watching her perform. I think she's very charismatic on stage. Mm-hmm. Do I think she could lip sync the house down, boots, anybody? No, I would never. So my opinion, first time that the lip sync assassin, in my opinion, and I think you're agreeing, wasn't really an assassin. It was kind of like a assassin wannabe. So you mentioned the lip sync song was "Phone" by Lizzo.
Loved it.
And Tez, you're going to hate me because I had never heard the song before.
So I was a fan of Lizzo before Lizzo was Lizzo.
Oh, okay.
No, but she was Lizzo then too, but she wasn't as big as she was now. Before her first album came out, she had like a couple of mixtapes, and so I used to love that song. I used to dance to it. Actually, I lived back in Georgia, so this was way back in like 2016 when I first heard that song, and it's old, but it's a good song. And I know
it was fun.
Yeah.
And actually, once the song started and it got into it, I wondered, oh, maybe that's why they picked Mayhem. Because I do think a good Mayhem song. I could see her doing this at Mickey's and the Abbey and, Palm Springs. I could totally see her doing that song. It's very her style. So that was my thought was, okay, well, maybe they picked her for that reason. Because Ginger won the lip sync for Your Legacy, she won $30,000. And she got to reveal who she wanted to send home, and she chose Scarlett. Mm-hmm. She also said that she wanted to give $2,500 to each teammate because she said she couldn't have won without them. What did you think of that?
Of course, she wouldn't. I mean, her group, Jan and Pandora, almost brought her down. I mean, thank goodness, she had to fight through that. catastrophe of a combination, but she worked with. So I guess in this case, she did earn that win. I feel like I know it was generous of her to give the money to the team members, but I mean, it's kind of sad that Eureka and them got nothing. But you won.
Yeah.
Or did they get a gift? Did they get something? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate that. She shouldn't have even acknowledged him as a winner. It's kind of like you won, but you don't get nothing.
I feel like she should have done was announce Ginger as the overall winner and then said to the team. Again, I know they're doing it for production reasons to create drama. Hey, you won. Nope, you didn't. She won. I get that. But yeah.
They should have won. They should have, honestly. But I guess whatever.
Yeah. And yes, you are correct, Luis Manuel Hernandez Elias. She did win $35,000 overall because she won $5,000 for winning the challenge and then $30,000 for winning the lip sync for your legacy. Yeah. So then an hour later, Scarlett gets the news that it's a game within a game and she wants to play and she wants to know what it is. Blah blah blah. So there was a couple mirror moments and some stuff in Untucked that I wanted to talk about. We had talked about this actually already. Raja being worried that she had crossed the line with talking about her mother and stuff, but you said that you didn't think that she did.
No, I thought she did a good job by clearing that she loves her mom, doesn't think her mom's a bad person, but this is what she went through as a child. This is how she felt. And that's all. Just sharing her experience. Yeah,
I agree. We already talked about also Eureka being a little upset that she didn't win the challenge and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But then they did talk about, which again, I'm glad that they did, is that they're talking about, like, it's always like, well, there can only be one big girl. Like, when we cast the season, there's a big girl. And they were talking about how, well, there's room in the top for 2 or 3 big girls. You know what I mean? Like, we've had 3 skinny bitches. Why can't we have 3 big bitches? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just, again, it's how we are, how it's produced. You're going to produce it all the time with 3 skinny white blonde girls. Well, that's what people are going to start getting in their head, is that is what you need to be to win. So I thought it was a good conversation that they talked about the plus size girls. We also find out from Ginger, another moment is that she said that she felt like maybe when she was little that she could be trans, but then when she started hearing about gender fluidity and non-binary, and she really read it and, dove into what that means, she said that she got emotional. She was like, wow, this is who I am. I didn't know that about her. Did you know that about her?
No, I'm learning a lot about Ginger more this season because I didn't watch season 7 while it was on. I went back and watched it, so it was kind of like a binge watch.
Yeah,
and then obviously All Stars 2. Was it 2? Yeah, 2. She didn't really have much time there, so yeah, this is like my most of knowing Ginger from her run on any season.
Well, I think she really is. Again, I don't know if it's the show or if it's the queens, but I feel like we're getting to know them so much better, and I love it. I mean, I truly do love it. I think it's making for better TV, in my opinion. Will Ru? That's a very good question, Chucky Chuck. Will Ru pick a plus size queen as the winner in the United States? I know
if he picks me.
There's not, I know either one of us. I'll be fine. Actually, I don't think of you as plus size at all. But anyway, what was that saying? Oh yeah. Okay. And then the last thing I was going to talk about the episode, it was right at the very end, because Scarlett makes a comment that she would feel some sort of way. That's her quote, some sort of way, if she was chosen to go home. And TKB I actually really appreciated TKB saying this. She's like, look, we're here to play this game, and our job is to send somebody home. And the fact that you're going to tell me that you're try to influence me by telling me that you're going to be mad at me later because of my decision now, Forget You. Like, I was so glad that she did that. Did you catch that? Because it was very short, right at the end of the episode of the Untucked.
I don't think so. I don't recall that part.
Yeah. It was right at the very end. It was very short. I actually had to rewind and listen to it again because I was like, oh, wait, what is she saying here? And she really, and I was like, I was proud of her because I do think it's something that they need to be reminded because they all make it into this big ordeal that, oh, so-and-so voted me out. Well, somebody had to go. I'm not going to vote for myself. So
honestly, if you end up in the bottom by any means, then you are at risk and you should just accept that it may be my time to go.
Yeah.
Because history shows that it doesn't matter how great you are or how bad you are, you could go home at any moment.
Absolutely.
That's right on that.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
All right. So I think now we're at my quote of the week. My quote of the week this week is going to go to Miss Eureka when they were doing the Pink Table Talk. She says, I
know what you're going to say.
I'm sitting here eating a Hot Pocket waiting for the ding dong.
Oh, I thought you were talking about her moment when she was like, opinions are assholes and so am I. Whatever, something like that.
Yeah. She had quite a few, but was the one about the Hot Pockets waiting on the ding dong just made me laugh. Guys, I'm so sorry. Jackie canceled at the last minute, so I didn't pick Fans of the Week, and I haven't had a chance to go on and peek at something while we were talking. So unfortunately, I don't have well, you know who's Fans of the Week? Everybody in the chat room is Fans of the Week this week because you guys were here and you're with us every week. Elaine, Hello Kitty, Chucky Chuck, Amber, C. O'Connor, Elaine, Magenta Fox. You're
Elaine,
all literal truth. Yeah, you're all Fans of the Week.
About the clear winner thing. That's why I'm liking this season because I don't know who's going to win. There has literally been 5 different winners.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's great. It's becoming a really good season. Probably maybe one of my favorites towards the end. We'll see. I know. Last week I was just like, y'all said it was like the best, and I was just like, let's wait because you never know. Yeah. Let's wait till we get to the top 4, and then we can make that decision.
Thank you, Japple. Japple has graciously volunteered to be our Fan of the Week. So, Japple, you are Fan of the Week.
Sorry, Japple. It's going. I'm going to give it to someone else.
you see that it's very, very difficult to become Drag Race TV LA's Fan of the Week. You see how difficult it is. You just got to witness that firsthand. So news and gossip. The only thing that I really wanted to say was congratulations for 11 Emmy nominations for RuPaul's Drag Race. For Best Show, Ru was again nominated for host and stuff. So if you want the complete list, you can go on their
nice little website.
Their website or their Instagram or something like that. Ollie and I will be doing a wrap up of España this week. Hopefully, we'll do actually, they ended up doing a reunion episode this week, so it wasn't the finale. I thought it was going to be the finale, so they did a reunion. The finale was going to be next week. So we'll either do one this week and cover the 3 that we've seen, and then do one for the finale, or wait for the finale and do one of all 4. I'll talk to Ollie about it and figure it out. But we will be wrapping up the España season. We're not going to leave you guys hanging. Also, August 6th, season 2 of Drag Race Holland premieres on Wow Presents Plus. And again, Drag Race Italia was announced. So keep an eye out for more on that. So before I ask who you think is next to go, well, let me tell you the preview for next week, so you at least have no idea what's going on. There's a video message from Angela Bassett. Guest judge is Emma Roberts. So the main challenge is an overacting Ru-American horror story, Coven Girl. So it's an acting challenge. Do you want to stick with Jan as who you think?
I mean, just because, I don't think she's a great actor. This is a challenge where they can really be drag, drama, loud, queens. I'm really worried for Kylie. They keep advertising her, and she's like, oh, so I'm really worried. And so my people that I would say, I'm not going to say Jan could probably do okay and be safe, but her time is coming. But I think if I would be honest, I would say between Kylie, maybe even Akira.
Yeah.
And maybe even TKB, maybe TKB because it's acting.
Yeah.
And
Acting.
I hate to feel that way, but I'm always worried about those two. Like, I love Akira and TKB. But when it comes to improv and acting and stuff like that, you just never know where they're gonna fall.
Yeah, when I thought, okay, acting, overacting, I thought, frick, I bet you Jan's not gonna go home because all she does is overact. So I feel like she just has to walk out on stage and just talk, and she's gonna do fine. I worry about Akira. You know, they show Kylie in the teaser really overacting. So either it's a tease, like either they're like teasing us she's going to do really well, or they're teasing us she's going to do really bad. So I think Kylie will be top or bottom just because she was put in the promo.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I worry about Akira. I think Akira is my biggest worry.
And I know that TKB has definitely stepped up. I think he definitely stepped it up, but I still have my doubts. You know, they have good weeks, they have bad weeks. And
there's they also in the promo, TKB and Raja are conjoined twins. And then you and you see Michelle go, wait, let me show you what I'm talking about. And she gets up, and then they cut to TKB saying, when she gets up to come over and show you how to do it, that's not a good thing.
Well, that could be edited. They could have edited that.
Exactly. Right. But I just wanted to point that out because you mentioned TKB. So I did not see this, C. O'Connor. I'm very glad you said that to me. I don't know where you saw that, but I'm very hopeful that Drag Race Thailand gets renewed because it was one of my favorite. See, I think if you've never seen Drag Race Thailand, everybody should go watch it because I really love the runways and the lip syncs were just phenomenal. I just absolutely love Thailand, so that makes me happy. And I love Pangina Heels. Like she's probably up there with me in like all-time favorites with Raven and Heidi and stuff. So I just love her. And I got to see her. I don't know if I said that on here. I went to see Pangina was in Long Beach at Executive Suite. So I drove down and saw her, and she literally got 2 standing ovations after her performances. Oh, Jayla went with me. Yeah, me and Jayla went together. It was pretty phenomenal. What is it saying here? Pangina is gorgeous. So I just said TKB said that is never good. Right. She said it's never good. That Oh, C. O'Connor says he sees he says TKB going all the way to the finals.
I see her making it. I don't see her going home anytime soon, but I see her being close to the bottom.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I see her being in the bottom, but I don't see her going home because she's made. It's funny because she was worried about friends and stuff like that. I think she's definitely made friends in this competition. People want to keep her there. They see her as not only great competition, but as like a good person. So I think she'll be fine.
Yeah. Japple's asking when is Snatch Game. So this next week is 8 queens.
I think it's Snatch Game after that. Well, no,
then it would be 7. So I think it's going to go at 6. I think it's going to be 3 and 3 because if they're doing the match game of love, it's 3 and 3.
Oh my
so
God,
I think it'll be a
game of love, please. Please, I hate the Snatch Game under love, Snatch Game under the sea. I just want regular Snatch Game because those have not been that good anyway for a very long time. So I need to keep it just regular, please.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Magenta's throwing a conspiracy theory out there. Maybe Snatch Game will be the game within a game. Maybe they'll bring everybody back. I don't know if that's what you're saying, but that's my thinking. Is
overwhelming. Please don't.
Yeah, that would be overwhelming.
Yeah.
All right. We did it. We did it, Tez. You and me, solo. Thank you guys for joining us. That was fun. I have to go feed 2 Dachshunds now, but
I have to go feed my boyfriend.
Tez, when you're not here on Sundays at 3, where can people find you?
You can find me at Stupid Wild Tez, which is my personal page, or at my blog, which is it's at the Lean Blog, which is where I talk about Drag Race and Housewives, all those other reality TV shows. You can find me there.
Yes. Tez lives for that shit.
Love it.
You can find me on social media at the Mark J. Freeman, or when I'm cross-dressing at Lorayne Love, LORAYNE LOVE. Also, be sure to follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Drag Race TVLA, or DRTVLA on social media. You can click the thing down the corner there if you want to subscribe today. We'd love to have you here every week because we have fun in here and we love you guys. Thank you everybody again who was in the chat. You guys are fantastic. Like, I love just coming and seeing you guys' names.
It was
your
fun.
Comments. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. All right, everybody. We will see you next Sunday, 3 o'clock for All Star 6 episode 6. 6. Oh, 6.
No.
We need one more 6 and then we should be worried. All right, you guys. Love you. Mwah! Until next week.